here today with another episode of Witch's BookTube. And today we're going to be outside, as you can tell, because both the house is occupied, but also it's such a beautiful day that I wanted to risk the harsh lighting so that hopefully, cross your fingers, you might see some deer. We get deer out here all the time, you guys. It is the most beautiful, peaceful, gorgeous gift. I love being up here because they're just so comfortable with hanging out close to us that I was hoping that maybe I can capture that on video. I'm actually going to be sitting here and videoing 3 videos, so maybe in one of those videos you'll see a deer. In any case, you'll definitely see squirrel, you'll definitely see chipmunks. Anyway, so that's why we're out here. All that to say that today we're going to be talking about The Modern Witchcraft Guide to the Wheel of the Year by Judy and Nock. Beautifully designed. It's part of this series. I'm sure that you've all seen it because I did a review on The Modern Witchcraft Guide to Love Spells by Sky Alexander, and that was also part of the series. And I believe I have 2, maybe 3 more books in the series to review at some point in the future for this year. So this book I really enjoyed. Let me really quickly read you, if I can find it, the bio for the author. Judy Ann Nock is the author of A Witch's Grimoire, Create Your Own Book of Shadows. She has a bachelor's degree in creative writing and theater from Florida State University and is currently pursuing a master's degree in the City University of New York. She lives in Manhattan. We also follow her on Instagram, so I'll include that link down below as well as the book and a list of the other things that she's written. It's been a long time, like a long time since I've read anything on the Wheel of the Year. I did read quite a few books very early on in my path, close to 30 years now. I can't even believe how old I am. And it was beautiful to revisit this because, you know, once you've kind of assimilated information, you start to make it your own. My Sabbath practices are my own. They've kind of become much more personalized and the things that really speak to me. And so it's not information that I revisit often. But I did with this book, and I really enjoyed it because one of the things that I really appreciate about this book is that she goes into depth about what the astrological environment or climate is during each of the Sabbats. And by that I mean, what constellations do you see in the sky? What are the mythologies associated with those constellations? What is changing astrologically as we move through each of these stations throughout the year? I love that information, and for those of you who are really interested in astrology and going deeper, this is another layer that you can get into that is really, I thought, very beautiful and very relatable to what we're living day by day by day as the months go by and each season goes by in our year. So number one, I love that emphasis in the book. It's not one that I have found or remember reading in other books about the Wheel of the Year. Also keep in mind the Wheel of the Year is a very European, Celtic in origin. Other magical traditions throughout the world certainly follow seasonal mythologies and practices, but this idea and the mythologies associated with it are very European, Northern European, Western European, Celtic in origin. And most of us in Western cultures follow it. With that said, what else did I love about this book? There was really nothing I did not like about this book. It is beginner in the sense that a lot of us enter into some sort of paganism with an understanding of celebrating the Sabbats as an alternative to the Abrahamic religions that we have all sort of been influenced by or grown up in. By Abrahamic religions, I mean Christianity, Catholicism, Judaism, and even Islam, right? It's an Abrahamic religion. So when you enter paganism, or when we start to get really curious about paganism in whatever form, the Wheel of the Year tends to be one of the first things that we kind of are attracted to because it gives us a different language. It gives us a different cycle to follow. And for me, it was one of the things that I love so much because I really love ritual. I really love the idea of cyclical celebrations, but the ones that I was born into, which were Catholic, did not speak to me. So again, it's beginner in that sense, but I think it goes in deeper when you read the astrological component of it. I love that. That was such a beautiful new layer to my astrological learning. So I recommend it for that. I also recommend it because Judy did a really beautiful job of incorporating in just about every Sabbat. She incorporates a meditation, let's see if I can remember them all, a meditation, a craft, a ritual, a food recipe, I might be missing something, but each Sabbath has at least one of those. I loved the meditations. They were beautifully written. Certainly meditation. Oh wait, do you see all the fun going on out there? Do you see how fun? Okay, anyway, maybe this isn't the greatest thing for this video because it's a little distracting, but I don't know, I just find it so beautiful. The guided meditations were beautifully written. I think that certainly there's some that I'm going to be using on for myself, my own personal practice, that can be used for the Sabbath, but I also think that in some ways you can kind of make them applicable at different times of the year. Those are meditations that you can do alone. If you wanted to do them with a group, maybe one person can do the reading while the others in the group are doing the meditations as a guided meditation. The rituals definitely can be done in group or solitary. The crafts were wonderful. The food recipes were fantastic as well. I really enjoyed this book. This is a great addition to your library as a reference. If you are wanting to go deeper into the Sabbaths and you want to really understand what's going on the planet and astrologically as the wheel of the year turns, fantastic. At the end, there's also some really helpful, a glossary that's really helpful. There's a couple of tables, like the astronomical Sabbats, and tells you what degree each sign is when the Sabbat comes through. Table of correspondences, zodiac correspondences. So really chock full with great information. I think she did a fantastic job. I recommend it. I loved it. I loved the entire experience. It was a really beautiful revisiting for me. Great reference for all of you, and a book that you can kind of not just necessarily read and put away in your library, but a book that you can pull out at every Sabbath and say, hey, let's look at what, like, I love this book as the idea of using this book in preparation for every Sabbath, right? Where you know the Sabbath's coming, maybe 2-3 weeks out before the Sabbath comes. You start to plan and organize what rituals you're going to go through, you're going to enact. And a book like this can really help you kind of make a list, like, maybe on this night a meditation would be really helpful for me. Maybe on these 2 nights we do a craft and we do like the food to prepare for like maybe the group celebration, and then maybe on this night is a night that I do this ritual. Like, I really love the idea of thinking ahead and organizing our lives in such a way where we can incorporate these things in a very intended and strategic manner, because this work is transformative. It isn't just about celebrating, right? Celebration is important, but it isn't just about the celebration. There is opportunity for transformation at each of these points of the year. And I think this is a great tool for that. So there it is. Modern Witchcraft Guide to the Wheel of the Year by Judy and Nock. I will link all the information below, and I will see you all next week. Have a wonderful, beautiful week. And as always, if you've read the book, tell me what you thought. If you're going to read the book, tell me. I want to know. Talk to me. I love you guys commenting, so continue to do so, and I will see you all next week.